welcome to your stretching video for posture correction today. So in our day-to-day lives at the moment, we are often round-shouldered. So when we're sitting at a computer desk or when we're slouched on the sofa, when we're in the car, just general life, our whole body is starting to curve forwards a little more. This could lead to pressure in the upper back, tension in the neck, the shoulders. It could make your breath feel a little tight where you're compressing everything over. Or just generally, you might feel that you really want to just open out through the front body and work on a gorgeous lifted posture. So this video today, nice and short and sweet, just a few series of stretches to really help you open up across the chest and just to go back and work on our posture as we know and as we should be carrying ourselves. So I am going to use a block in today's class. If you don't have a block, you could use a pillow. It's quite a big cushiony pillow that you could lean on. You can grab these blocks just off Amazon. It's just a yoga block. And also I'm going to use one of my bands. Okay, so again, any strap that you've got at home. If you haven't even got a strap, you could use like a dressing gown cord or a tie or a towel, just something so that your hands are going to be able to reach together behind the back, basically. Okay, so when you're ready, what we're going to do is I'm going to start in child's pose. I'm going to have my bottom onto my heels. Now I'm going to put my hands onto the block. I'm using a yoga block, so I'm going to have it this way around to start with. I am going to adjust that height as we go. If you've got a pillow, you could use one pillow and then maybe add in a second when I flip this block up. Okay, so we're going to pop our hands, our forearms, onto the block. You're going to have a little fidget, take the knees a bit wider, and then allow your chest to simply fall through the arms, okay? So we're going to pause here and take a few breaths. So what you should have is your forearms on the block, the bottom on the heels, knees are slightly open. And then as you breathe out every time, you're simply allowing the chest to fall through the arms and to come closer and closer towards the ground. And then what we're doing here is gradually going to open up through the front body, but we're going to do it slowly. Not going to force ourselves into anything too intense just yet. And we're thinking about those shoulder blades creeping towards one another in the upper back. Breath work for these stretching videos, entirely up to you, whether you take a Pilates or a yoga style breath, whatever you feel comfortable with. But I do invite you to try and slow the breath down and to allow the body to relax as we fold into these stretches today. I'm going to curve through the spine, gently rippling up, and I'm simply going to flip the block now to make it higher. So you would incorporate another pillow if you're using pillows. And then we do exactly the same. So you want to bring maybe the hands together. The forearms are resting onto the block, and you're allowing the body to sink down now. So this is a bit more intense. The range of movement's going to be bigger. Knees might want to go a little wider. And you're allowing the body to fall through the arms, allowing that chest to really open, shoulder blades to creep together. Taking one last breath here. And then we'll gently peel ourselves up. I'm going to bring the hands either side of the block, bringing the shoulders over the wrists here. We're going to cat and cow. So drop the belly down towards the ground, looking forwards with the eye line. So you get that curve through the back. Now I invite you to pause here. Really think about lifting your tailbone, your coccyx right up to the ceiling. Lengthening through the backs of those legs. So you're really lifting, but dropping the belly down to the ground. Eye lines looking forwards. Taking it here for one more breath, a slow, steady breath. Then we're going to go the other way. So cat pose, chin to the chest. Push your spine up towards the ceiling. Try and separate the shoulder blades. Drawing the belly towards the spine, really curving that back. Holding it here, pressing away from the ground. And then gently release. Now I'm going to flip my block so it's on the smallest height it can be. Going to extend the hands to the top of the mat. Now have a little fidget. You're going to bring yourself down into extended puppy. So I would like the chest to be on the block or to be on the pillow, and my head is coming off of the block. Okay, so whether your forehead's on the floor, whether your chin's coming down to the ground, your chest is rested on the pillow or on the block. Palms of the hands on the floor, lengthening forwards and lifting that tailbone. So as we just did on all fours, think about lifting the tailbone high to the ceiling, getting a curve through the lower back. And again, we are inviting the shoulder blades to come together in the upper back, the chest to open here. But we're using this prop to just guide us down so we can fully immerse ourselves into this stretch. Sometimes coming into some of these stretches, we're a bit unsure. We start to come into it and then we come out too quickly. Very important to try and settle into this. Get the body used to where you want it to be, the alignment that you'd like your posture to be. Because obviously it's not just going to happen overnight. It takes a while. So repeating this video will help just to realign the body into correct posture. Let's slowly, gently bring yourself forwards. Now you're just going to need to bring that block to the top of the mat. We're going to come down onto our front. So I invite you to take your right arm out to the side, glue the feet together. You're going to push away with your left hand and simply roll onto your right side. So my right arm is long, palm of the hand is on the floor. My left hand is pushing away so I can roll completely onto the right side. So right ear is down, right hips on the ground, and feet are together. So we're just taking another moment here to really stretch out through that shoulder, isolating the right side of the body. So obviously these muscles, these ligaments, as they naturally start to curve over more often, over a period of time, the ligaments, the muscles get shorter and they just get used to being in that rounded posture. Okay, so they get used to pulling your body that way. So it takes a while to really counterpose that and to lengthen out these ligaments, the muscles, to let them know where we want them to be. So it won't happen as soon as you get off of the mat, but repeating this video over time will really help to roll the shoulders down the back and to work on your posture. Let's slowly come through center. Now taking your left arm out to the side, bending the right arm, you're going to push away with the right hand, coming onto your left side now. So left ear's on the ground, feet are together, you're pressing away with the right hand, palm of the left hand's on the floor, the left arm is all the way out to the side. And maybe you have to fidget to find space. But we're really opening out through the left shoulder. Okay, so take a breath here, especially if this side feels a bit tighter than the right. One side's generally always tighter. That might be because the right arm you use more often. Maybe you lean to one side more. If you're a mum and you're carrying children on one side more, we tend to have one side of the body that curves over a lot more than the other. Okay, so taking a gorgeous breath here. And then we'll slowly come back onto our fronts. Now bringing the block or the pillow back. Now popping your forehead only, onto the block or the pillow. Taking your hands behind your back and holding onto your wrists. And then once you've found the wrist, see if you can creep down your forearms. See if you can come in the direction of your elbows. Hold onto the arms, roll the shoulders down your back. Let the feet come hip distance. Feet are relaxed, bottom is relaxed. And we're simply rolling the shoulders down the back here. Taking time to, again, peel the chest open to bring the shoulder blades towards one another. And we're keeping the neck long. There's no creases in the back of the neck, because sometimes if your head is on the floor, that might mean your neck is starting to drop forwards, your upper body is curving, maybe in the top part of the shoulders. So using this block or this prop, it's helping us keep our spine in a neutral alignment. So let's take one last breath here. And then we'll slowly release the arm, placing the hands underneath your shoulders, pressing away from the floor, lifting the chest, coming into what we call a cobra. So the hands are right under the shoulders, elbows are soft. Try and drop the shoulders away from the ears, not pulling them down, but just not having everything tight and compressed, okay? So lifting up and out of the hips, eye lines coming forwards. And then we're going to lead with the bottom, make your way back into a child's pose. This time, forehead bows down to the ground. Fingertips are reaching forwards, lengthening through that spine. Beautiful. Sliding the hands towards the knees. Peel yourself up. I'm going to stay kneeling, but if this doesn't feel comfortable for you, feel free to be seated on your bottom or a chair, something like that. I'm going to grab the band or the prop now. Now I'm going to pop both hands inside my band. So I've got both hands on the inside of the band. If you're using a dressing gown cord, a towel, a jumper, just hold on to it. You don't have to obviously put your hands inside it. Just hold on to it, okay? What we're going to do here is keep the chest lifted. So I'm not going to fold forwards. And I'm going to simply lift the hands up as high as I can and then pause there. Okay, so trying not to fold forwards. Try and roll the shoulders down the back. Eye line is looking forwards. Even though we're not thinking about core control and stuff, I will just remind you, draw the belly button towards the spine so you're not completely arching into the lower back, so that you're looking after the lower back, okay? Lifting the hands a little higher if you can. Trying not to fold over. And again, keeping the shoulders relaxed. They're not creeping all the way up to the ears. And then we'll slowly ease off. I'm going to keep the band in my right hand and I'm going to take it up towards the ceiling. So my right arm is in line with my ear. You see my right arm's in line with the ear. I'm going to bend the right arm, keep the right elbow facing forwards. Now I'm going to take my left hand behind my back. If I go this way, it'd be easier to show you. And I'm going to find the band. If you're using a dressing gown cord or something, you find the end of the cord. Now you're just going to really peel the shoulders back. So my right elbow is touching my head. Left elbow is coming down towards the ground. Spine is long, so we're not collapsed over, we're not curving. The shoulders are over the hips. And we're simply lengthening the spine. Start to pull with the left arm. See if you can increase the range of movement here. And we're simply trying to pull that right arm back in a different alignment so that we're not curving over, okay? So let's take one more breath here. And then we'll gently ease off and we'll change sides, okay? So we're going to take the left arm up to the ceiling now. Keep the left arm touching the side of the head. You bend the left arm, keep the elbow touching the side of the head, pointing forwards. My right arm comes behind the back. Finds the strap, the prop, whatever you are using, and you just start to pull, okay? So you're just pulling down, maybe creeping the hand a little higher up the back, but really important to keep that left elbow touching the side of the head. So it's not chicken winging out to the side, it's coming forwards, and really important to not let the body curve over. So keep a nice straight spine here. And we're just pulling down on that strap, that prop, just trying to go deeper into this stretch. Using the breath, whatever style of breath you feel more comfortable with here. Keeping that spine lifted, creating space. And then we'll gently ease off, okay? So I'm going to pop that band down. I'm going to sit onto the bottom now. Feet flat on the floor, knees parallel. Placing the hands behind the thighs. Now, this is that cat and cow that we did earlier when we were on all fours. I'm going to ask you to pause again. So you drop the chin to the chest, draw the belly to the spine, hold it here. So we're simply curving through the back, maybe taking a little neck stretch while you're here. So chin's on the chest, rounded through the spine. And then go the other way, take the eye line up, drop the shoulders down the back, maybe lift up, opening through the throat, but really think about pulling the shoulders down the back. Baby back bend into the lower back here, really gentle. So you've gone past that point of a straight spine, yeah? Now ease off, use your hands on the floor. We're going to come down. Now just need to reposition the block or the pillow. You're going to pop the block underneath your shoulder blades. So just underneath my shoulder blades here. I'm going to straighten my legs. If it's too intense, bend your knees. Now, very important, you find the right point on the block or the pillow so that as you curve over, your head can come onto the floor. Okay, so I really need your head on the floor so your head is relaxed here. So I'm going to settle for a moment because it is quite an intense posture. It really does open up through the front body. So take a moment here to let the head fall down to the ground. Then we're going to sweep the arms up towards the ceiling. Bend your elbows out to the side. So your elbows are coming down to touch the floor. That might be quite intense. You might not get there, but do your best to get your elbows to touch the ground. And then flip the hands. So the backs of the hands are now coming onto the ground as well. Palms of the hands are face up to the ceiling. Some of you might not be able to get the backs of the hands on the floor. If you can't, don't worry, but you keep practicing this video and eventually they will connect to the ground and you'll be really chuffed because you know that you've made progress. So the shoulder blades are on the block or the pillow. If you've got one pillow and you're not feeling it, maybe you want to double up. Legs are long. If that's too intense, know that you could bend the knees. And we're simply allowing our back to melt over this block, this pillow, this prop. And we're really opening up. This is what the whole video is all about. Opening through this front body, through the chest, the shoulders, counteracting our posture in day-to-day life where we're all curved over all the time. So we're really just peeling everything back, allowing space, not only to release tension, not only to make our posture look lovely, but also to allow our lungs to function fully so that our breath doesn't get short and shallow, to prevent any tension headaches, upper back injuries, shoulder niggles. So it's not just about how your posture looks, it's about how it treats the rest of the body as well. So really important to work on this, to create space and to reduce the risk of injury. Okay, hopefully we're feeling pretty good here now. It doesn't feel too uncomfortable. We're going to slide the hands down by your sides. I would bend your knees first. Now you can either roll onto your sides, which is a great way to come off, or you can press your elbows into the floor and use your hands to bring yourself up to seated. I would take a little counter pose here, just sliding the hands down towards the feet, dropping the chin to the chest and allowing your body to curve over, just allowing your body to reset and to settle here. So taking a big breath into those lungs in the back of the body, to the rib cage, peeling yourself up. And then to finish, I'm going to come to a cross-legged seated pose. And if you have a wall or a unit, I invite you to go and sit against it. You can move away from the camera if you want, because all I'm going to do is sit here. But you want you to get your coccyx, your bottom, right onto the wall. So you're really pressing into the wall or the unit, allowing the knees to drop down. And I invite you to simply sit against the wall, with the back of your head on the wall, and both shoulder blades making contact with that wall, with that unit. Drop the shoulders, make sure they're relaxed. Hands are simply down by your sides. But as you're sitting against your wall, your unit, I would like you to try to have your bottom touching, your head touching, and your shoulder blades making contact as well. So you're really focusing on lengthening, lifting, and having that straight spine that we are trying to focus on from this video today. So this is your last pose of this stretching video. So feel free to stay here, okay? So you could stay here, maybe watch TV or something in this posture for a little while, just helping you to counter pose. But come back to this video whenever you need to. Keep doing it, keep repeating it, and eventually your chest, your shoulders, all the muscles, all the ligaments will start to learn. They have muscle memory, and they'll start to learn that this actually is where I need to be, not here. I need to be here. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know how you found it and keep working on that posture correction.